So if you type in hacker into Google, this is what you get. Um, so there's a thing called the dark web. Raise a show of hands. Anyone who's come across this or knows what that means?
Never really need.
Okay. Yeah. Bust it. Teach us. So basically, this is a place where, like, people who want to do illegal stuff can go to this website, this internet that you need special like tools to access. Essentially, like you can't just go to Google and end up in the dark web. You need like different technologies to go there. But essentially, you can go there, and if you wanted to buy a list of 10,000 stolen credit card numbers, you could do that. I have every confident, like I'm positive my social security number, my birthday, my 6'6" height, my credit card number, all that stuff is out there. If someone wanted to buy it, they could. So what people do is they'll buy these lists of credit cards, and then they'll test them out on different websites. They'll find sites that have limited security, and you can run or write like basically a robot to say like, try these 10,000 cards on this website and see if they work. Most modern websites have security protocols in place, like we do at Docket, that prevents this from happening at scale. But even so, this is what's going on. About 18 months ago, somebody came across dumpster rental as a new industry, and we saw from the data that these kinds of transactions spiked. So why are people looking at dumpster rental and saying this is an attractive place to go do this? So a couple things. Your first question, online booking and payment. So you can't take a list of stolen credit card data and go into a Walmart and try to use that stuff. There's nowhere for you to punch that information in. So the fact that many dumpster rental transactions are done with online booking and payment is the first thing that these hackers look for. The second thing is the big ticket transactions. For them to write a script and go through all this effort to try to basically steal people's money, like they want to do that for a $300, $500, $700 transaction, not for a $12 t-shirt. So dumpster rental, big ticket item is another factor for it. Third and fourth are kind of related, time sensitive. Like you all know that people call and they need a dumpster urgently. Like for some reason, people forget that they're knocking out their basement wall and that they need a dumpster to throw all that stuff away today or tomorrow. So people call and they urgently need something that probably should have been thought out. But the time-sensitive nature means that you all are used to receiving these requests. So when someone calls you and needs a dumpster today or tomorrow, you're not surprised by that. It's part of your day-to-day thing. If this was weirder for you, where most of your transactions were weeks out, planned out, then you all might think differently about that request that comes in out of the blue for a dumpster today or tomorrow. But because this happens every day, you're used to it. And then finally, the competitive dynamics. Dumpster rental is a competitive industry. You all probably have 5, 10, 20 haulers in your area. And so you're all trying to be easy to do business with. You all want to win that lead when it comes in. So you're potentially asking for less things than you would in an ideal world to make sure that everything is super safe and secure. So driver's license images to match up to billing address information, sign contracts before you'll actually put a dumpster out. All those things would be ideal things to make sure that this never happened. But because you're trying to win business and because it's a competitive market, all those plus online booking and higher ticket make this an industry that's worthwhile targeting from a hacker's and bad actors perspective. So just quickly went onto some of the Facebook threads and saw these are posts of people who either have gotten scammed or came across these scams and were just trying to make other people aware of this stuff. Okay, so what does this look like? Docket. Some of us are based in Denver. I live in Denver. I went onto Facebook Marketplace and I just typed in dumpster rental. Look at all these listings. Someone is renting out a dumpster for $4. This one's $44. This one says same day for their $1 dumpsters too. There we go. So, scammers essentially put these listings up, and this is where this whole thing essentially starts. So here's the flow. So the first thing is the fake listing. So I'm going to put this up, and then somebody who needs a dumpster is in step two. They don't know what a normal dumpster should cost, or maybe they have gone to Google, found legit haulers, seen what a price for a 7-day is, and they're like, wow, okay, I had no idea it was going to be $300 or $500 or $700 to have a dumpster for a week. So then they go looking for a deal, and they find themselves on Facebook Marketplace, and they find the $1 listing. So they give it a shot. They respond to that ad, and they get in touch with the scammer, and the scammer says, hey, great, it's going to be maybe not $1. It's going to be $70 bucks for you to get a dumpster tomorrow. So they're like, great, I saw all these other people in Denver for $400. Cool. 70 bucks sounds awesome. And the scammer will ask to get paid via Venmo, Zelle, or Cash App. The reason for that is because that transaction you can't charge back. Like, the money goes and it's gone at that point. So once that scammer gets paid, they effectively act as a broker at that point. They then contact a legit hauler, one of you all, urgently say, hey, I need a dumpster, I need it today, or I need it tomorrow. And oftentimes it's sort of this weird call. Like, they can't answer a lot of the details around where the dumpster should go, what size they need. That broker is really just trying to get to the next step here, which is they find a legit hauler to drop a dumpster off where that person who initiated the scam needs it, essentially. So delivery day comes. The person who responded to who contacted Facebook ad poster gets the dumpster delivered. Let's say they needed it for tomorrow. It's Tuesday, rolls around. Cool. Dumpster shows up. Legitimate company. Your guy or you all have dropped the dumpster off. You get your paperwork signed. You leave. Everyone thinks everything legitimate is happening. There's been a stolen credit card that's been used to book a dumpster on your website. The person who needed the dumpster got the dumpster. A week later, you all pick up the can and you head home, and everyone thinks this is all above board and this is all working. And then a week later, let's say it's Logan again, sees on his credit card statement, okay, American dumpster, sure, I didn't book a dumpster, like, what happened here? So then you initiate the chargeback, and now this very confusing process unwinds where the hauler receives a chargeback. They are confused because everything seemed legitimate and above board. They contact the customer who they drop the dumpster off at. Maybe they drive to that person's house and they're like, hey, why are you charging this back? That person's really confused because they didn't initiate a chargeback at all. So this is where this whole, this is how this scam works. Okay, couple things. How do you spot these things when they come in? So first one is an out of area phone number. So I grew up in Florida. 305 and 786 are the area codes that everyone in Florida has. If I got a call from a 917 number, which is from New York, I'm going to immediately be a little bit skeptical. Why does someone from New York need a dumpster in Florida? Same with number two. Someone needs a dumpster in Florida and their billing address is out of state, New York. Anywhere that's not Florida, that's another red flag. Urgency and then this confusing order process sort of go together. If someone is just indiscriminate around whatever price you quote them, they don't have any pushback on it. If you ask them where they want the dumpster and they say they don't care, I've never met a homeowner who doesn't care where the dumpster goes. They're probably going to be very specific with where it goes. Watch out for the driveway, watch out for the tree, leave it here. If the person is just trying to get through that transaction, probably another red flag to look out for. Then the final two, like, your systems can really help here. If you get an IP address order and the IP address happens to be from Puerto Rico or somewhere out of the US, it's another red flag. And then finally, like, multiple transactions. Like, Docket will turn these off after a certain point, but like, if 3 bad cards are used, that transaction could go through. If 100 bad ones are used, it's not going to go through. How can you essentially prevent these things? And once they get started, what do you do? So some of these things are going to sound very obvious, but these are just like the best practices. There's some chargebacks you just can't win, like fraudulent ones, but doing these 6 things will help. So the first one is just being very, very, very transparent around what you charge for what, and do this in as many places as possible. So all of your refund, cancellation, and billing policies, put them on your website, put them on your estimate, put it in your terms and conditions. All those things will help when somebody submits a transaction. Well, hopefully will clear things up in the first place. And then ultimately, if someone does file a dispute, help you say, hey, we alerted this customer 3 different times. Here are the 3 different emails that we sent them with the billing information. So we should win this transaction. Clear billing descriptors. So some of you might have a legal entity and then a DBA name that is something else. So just making something up. Let's say my legal entity was Prestige Worldwide, and let's say my DBA was Mike's Dumpsters Company. If my credit card transactions say Prestige Worldwide, I'm gonna get a lot of customers who are disputing those things, so they have no idea what the heck that is. So this is something you can actually test, and if either your DBA or your legal entity name is confusing to people, if it's not very clear what it is that you're charging them for, this is actually one easy win you can get to clear this up by making sure that your credit card statements show the right thing. Responsive support, some people ultimately go the chargeback route because they had some service issue, they had some customer support need. They reached out to your team and they didn't get a response period, or they didn't get the response that they wanted. So just being responsive here will help. Hopefully you guys figure things out on like a business to business level versus someone just going the chargeback route. So the fraud stuff, we talked about it. We have a little like fraud red flag checklist that, again, if you want to take home, that'll be something that we'll leave you all with. Keeping detailed records. So this, again, is not like a prevention mechanism. This is a winning mechanism, driving your percentage of disputes up from 44% as close to 100% as possible. Be methodical around all the communications. Make sure if it's done via email, you can call that stuff back. Taking pictures of proof of service is something that's the best practice. So if you can, in that dispute process, prove the dumpster was delivered the day that I said it would be, it was empty, now the dumpster's full, I'm taking it away to the landfill, this is what's going to justify the overage or disposal fees. All those things, when you submit them all in this basically like evidence request package, it really helps your case. So keeping all
Still work at fraud.
yeah. And then finally, respond to chargebacks quickly. So to your question, you only have 30 days to respond to these things when they come in. If you're 31 days, you're toast, and they're going to debit the money from your account, and you can't follow up after the fact. Okay, we have a new customer checklist on the left, and then a fraud red flag checklist on the right. We'll email these to everybody, but these are, if you're training your teams, if you're looking for something, if you're having chargeback problems, $10,000 in a month, that is a lot. If you have more than 1/3 of your more than 33 basis points transaction wise are getting charged back, these are some things to think about. And our team is also happy to chat with, review your data, and see if there's anything we can do to help.